What is up? What is up? What is up, my YouTube peeps? How is everybody doing this evening? I hope that you are doing absolutely fantastic. I know I am pretty fantastic, trying to get it done, doing everything I can. Let me know if our audio sounds okay this evening, because we are trying to stay somewhat cooler than normal. A little bit of air going on in here, which might add some background noise. But if it's not too bad and you can live with it, then so will I. Trust me. I hope everybody's doing awesome. I just got back from a couple of days of kind of R&R, actually a full week at the lake. It was very, very nice. I'm super, super excited to actually be back home now and start creating a little bit of more content again. Not that I didn't create while I was up there. It was more like a working vacation. But you know what I mean. You just kind of do what you do. I'm tired too, Michael T. Both Michael T and I had 5-hour drives today before I had to set everything back up, because we did last time. Oh, see, it sounds fine. Doesn't hear anything. Awesome. Oh, Moss, thank you so much, man. I really appreciate that. I wanted to actually talk a little bit about that one. Going to let's see, we've got Dwayne says he's going to do some live streams of the build. Ah, you're talking about the build of your boat, which sounds fantastic, Dwayne. That sounds pretty exciting. Jelly Duck is in the house. Hello, Jelly. It's 3 a.m. in Kuwait. I hear you, brother. You're probably tired. You're probably tired. Reaper Faction is in the house as well. And we've got most 6510 models. Hello. Hello. We had BK42 in the house super early, saying hi. Good vibes and good times in the house as well. Hello, guys. I hope you're doing fantastic. I'm doing really well. So tomorrow is Father's Day. So for those of you who are fathers, happy Father's Day. It's a pretty cool day. It's a little bit bittersweet for both Monica and I this year, because we just lost our fathers one after the other in the last 2 months. It was very kind of a bummer, but you know, you can't plan this stuff. It just happens when it happens. So it'll be a little bittersweet on Father's Day this year, but I do have 2 absolutely amazing kids that I'm sure, you know, I'm sure I'll get to see tomorrow, and that's awesome. That's awesome. Not tired, Mike. Well, that's good, Jelly, because tiredness is bad, I think. Well, I don't know. Maybe not. So does anybody have any live streaming questions? Because I would certainly love to answer those. I'm still awake, just drinking chocolate soya milk. Happy Father's Day. Thank you, Jelly. I don't think I'm going to post a video tomorrow. I'm too tired to shoot and edit tonight. Well, I hear you, Michael T. I do hear you. I'm going to have to shoot something tomorrow for Monday. I have a couple of things in the works, but it is what it is. It is what it is. Hey, Angel Muniz, what is up? How you doing, brother? I hope you're doing well. I hope you are doing well. So, let's see. Oh, I know, it stinks. It stinks for both Monica and I, but this is the kind of stuff that happens. So, Moss mentioned my PC build video. If you haven't seen it yet, and you're possibly interested in how PCs are built, or you want to see what I consider to be just about the ultimate gaming machine that you can build on a reasonable budget, that live streams, because I built it for a live streamer, then you should definitely check it out. But I wanted to kind of talk about how YouTube works you a little bit, because this is something that if you're going to do YouTube full time, or if you're gonna, if you're serious about YouTube, you're gonna deal with this. YouTube will kick you in the face, and it's hard to deal with sometimes. So, for example, the video that I put together for the PC build, I worked probably, I think I shot 2 days full of the actual me building the PC and all the equipment and all the B-roll, and then another 2 to 3 days of voiceovers and things like that. So once you get into the realm of putting that kind of time in a video, you're kind of emotionally invested in, you know, what that video is going to do and how it's going to perform. And sometimes they just don't. Sometimes it doesn't matter how good the video is. It's not really necessarily in my niche, so people weren't looking for it, or they weren't interested in it. and your video comes out, and the ones that sometimes the ones you think are going to just take off and be awesome, bomb. It just happens. Sometimes the ones you never expect go and take off and they go crazy. As a YouTuber, I just want to let you guys know this happens to everybody. This literally happens to everybody. And just because your video bombs the first 24 hours or the first 48 hours or the first 2 days, don't lose heart. If you did the research and you created a good video, it could pick up. YouTube will figure out who the audience is for that video if it's good, and they're going to find that audience and they're going to share it. So please don't lose heart if you have you know, a situation where you put out a video you invested a lot of time and energy in and it doesn't do well, because trust me when I tell you this, it happens to everyone. So just keep your head up, and there you go. Apparently we have some questions rolling in. Let me take a moment and say hi to the folks that popped in here in the last couple of minutes. Zippy, hello. Zippy Entertainment. Aaron, good evening. Good evening, Aaron. Custom Wood Design, hello. It is awesome to see you. Mike Fever, hello. Hello, hello. Mike Fever, that's pretty close. Prey Mantis, hello, man. How are you guys? I hope you guys are doing awesome. YouTube is hard. And you're going to get kicked in the face over and over again, even when you finally... My channel, I had 1,200 subscribers for almost a full year. 1,200 subscribers. It stayed exactly there. And then one day, it just started to go ham, and I've grown to almost 8,000 subscribers now. And that felt like it happened overnight, but really it was 2 years worth of work putting together the right content and trying to educate YouTube as to what audience. And I still put out videos that I really think are going to do great, and YouTube says, nope, they suck. Or my audience says, I don't care about this. So, it's just a process. You kind of think you know who your audience is, but sometimes you don't. So just know that you're going to put out stinkers. Even ones that you love may not always do exactly what you want them to do. So don't lose heart. Don't lose heart. YouTube is a marathon, not a sprint. You're going to have to fail lots and lots and lots and lots and hundreds of times before you actually succeed. So just keep that in mind. If making content is what you love to do, it doesn't really matter how many times you fail. Let's go to the Monica cam and see what our first question is, though, because that's what you guys came for. So here we go.
Questions. Hi everybody, nice to see you guys here. We're going to start asking Michael some questions now. First is from Zippy Entertainment. He says, using OBS Studio, my source is set to window capture. The presenter switches to another source, like Zoom or Streamlabs, and it stops viewing the info. He needed to switch automatically. He needs it to switch automatically. Do you have any suggestions?
All right. Let's see. Let's go back here. So you want your scenes to switch automatically. In other words, let's go over to the tutorial screen here. Let's see. So what you wanted to be able to do is to go from scene 2 to scene 1 or whatever automatically, so you don't have to do it. There are plugins out there that do this. Let me see if I can find one for you. I haven't done a review on any of these yet, but a lot of these are perpetuated by a specific period of time. So in other words, you have to set a specific period of time, and then it'll switch to the next scene. I don't know that there's a very specific thing, but something like this scene switcher here, detection and hotkeys, so you could just press a key to make it switch. I also use software like this right here, which I can just put on my cell phone, and I can switch scenes with a touch of a button, and I don't really have to worry about it too much. It makes life really, really easy for me, and I can even do cool things like, like this. Because I'm ready. So I could do things like that with it. And that's probably, I think, a better solution than an automatic scene swisher, unless there's some sort of specific trigger that you're looking for that's going to force it into, you know, onto the next scene. Usually they're set to a specific period of time. So let's say you're going to run a video intro. Well, after the video intro, this automatic scene switcher will automatically switch, but the video is a specific length of time, and the scene switcher knows how much time, and you just tell it what you want to show next. It might be a little more difficult if you're dealing with introing somebody, because you don't know how long you're going to take to intro that particular person. So hopefully that answers your question, my friend. Let's go here to let's see, I don't even have you up. All right, let's go to the Monica camera. Let's see what's up.
Ready?
You're up.
I'm up. Okay, next question comes from Aaron Abernathy. And he says, how did you create the countdown? Was that just a video you played out?
Can you repeat? Because I was reading.
Daydreaming? He says, Aaron Abernathy says, how did you create the countdown? Was that just a video you played out? Aaron,
I love this question, because this person that created the this widget for this, I work with him a lot. He's a really good dude. It's just a widget, but it's one that you can get. Let's see here. Here it is. It's one that you can still use it for free, but it is not like one. See, like this right here, YouTube, like subs, views, custom widgets. Let's see, free widgets right here. So we can go to the countdown widgets, and these work exactly the same. I think this is the one I use actually. So you just go in here and you set your time that you want it to go, and you can see sometimes this happens. It's a little weird, but since you only use it once, you can easily fix it. You go down here and you set time, minutes, sound, all that kind of stuff. You apply it, and then you just copy the link right here, and then you're going to, so you would copy this link right here, and you're going to go into your OBS, go to browser source, and you just paste it in here, and there you go. And your countdown's going to come up based on, and that didn't work. Of course it didn't. There you go, honey. Thank you for being so supportive. I have to press the apply button first. Sorry. There we go. And let's see. Then I just have to go here. That's, you know why it didn't work, because I didn't press the apply button. Control C. And then I can just go back into my thing here. We're going to go into properties. And we're just going to paste that puppy in there. And now we're going to actually have a timer. And you can see this shows up like this, and sometimes it'll do that. All you have to do if that happens is, you know, give it the old. I have to go in here, and we're gonna do shut down source when not visible, refresh browser when scene becomes active, so that I can reset it just by turning it off and on. And I don't know why it's not. It's probably not working because it doesn't like the fact that I have two versions of OBS running at the moment. But you've seen it. It works. You've seen it on my main screen. For some reason, it's being temperamental. But that's the other source that I use for my countdown and things like that. It would be this enter media place right here. Let's see. Let's go back to the main page, and I'll toss this. You know what? I'll toss the countdown one in there for you if you want to check it out. And there you go. You could check it out if you'd like. And I like it. I think they do a pretty nice job. Let's go back to Monica and see if there's another question.
There is another question. Another question from Zippy Entertainment. He says, is there a forum or help group for OBS or Streamyard?
So there definitely is a forum for OBS. And I can show you exactly where it is. So we're going to go over here. And all you have to do is type OBS. Actually, if you type NDI, it'll take you right to the forum. So obsproject.com right here, and you can go to the home. This is the forum right here at the top. Windows support, Mac support, Linux support, all that sort of stuff. Now I don't know if there's a Streamyard forum, but I'm pretty sure there's a Streamlabs forum. Pretty sure there's a Streamlabs forum. Howtostreamlabs.com. And maybe not really so much the same kind of thing. Well, you can create a topic, you can ask questions, all that sort of stuff. I personally like the OBS one. I just think it looks better, but you know, Streamlabs puts their own little kind of spin on everything, so there you go. So hopefully that answers your question. Let's go see if we have other questions with the beautiful and gorgeous sandwich maker Monica.
We do have questions. Mike Fever has a question, and he says, I'm trying to do a 4-camera live stream of my band. Seems like I can only do 2 webcams max into 1 PC. Any ideas other than a hardware switcher?
Oh, I'm going to tell you something. In fact, I'm going to show you something. Look at this. We're going to go in here. Now I have my camera connected right there. I have Monica's camera connected, as you've seen. We're going to go in here and we're going to go to video capture device. And I'm going to select this camera, which is this one right here. This pretty camera right here. See? That's 3 cameras. You can easily do multiple cameras. You could do as many cameras as you want. Now, you might have multiple USB buses on your machine. And I know sometimes I have trouble with my with this camera here, my DSLR. Sometimes I have to move it to a different USB bus. I'll move it to the front panel bus. I'll move it to the back panel bus. But the other thing that's an absolute godsend that I use all the time, and let me get back to my main screen here so I can show you this thing right here. If I can get it up on camera, I might not be able to, but this thing right here, it's basically a USB hub. This particular one is by it was AUKEY. I researched this for about 6 months. I freaking love it. So what you know what? Give me a moment. Actually, message me because I have 2 of the cameras plugged in there and the other cameras plugged into the computer. I have other cameras, but I can't plug them in at the moment. But you can definitely do 4 cameras, I promise you. Sometimes it's just going to be a matter of switching USB ports and switching this and switching that, or getting something like this AUKEY. And if you want to know where to get it and exactly the model that I have, because I'm telling you right now, finding a good one is ridiculous, and this one is a miracle worker. Message me on Twitter. My Twitter handle is right here. It's at FEYRERM. You could direct message me. You don't have to be a follower or whatever they call them on Twitter. You can just direct message me and I'll send you a link to that exact model of USB switcher. I love it. This thing is amazing. It's absolutely amazing. And I think it cost me $40 maybe? 40 it was. It didn't break the bank. Which is why I did so much research, because I really didn't want to pay $150 for one. I wanted one that actually worked but didn't break the bank, and this one's a really good one. So message me on Twitter. I'll send you the link. Let's go over to the Monica cam and see what the beautiful Monica has to say.
Thank you, honey.
Oh, now your cam's all goofy.
Uh-oh. Why?
I don't know. It's probably, hold on.
What did you move? You touched something, didn't you?
I did.
He's always touching stuff, and then it just goes wonky.
All right. Let's see what we get.
Okay.
No.
No?
All right. What we get now?
Is that better?
No. Hold on. Can you guys hear Monica?
Hello? Nobody has said anything yet.
All right. Well, now we're getting choppy camera. Hold on.
Tech Examine says always breaking stuff.
Yeah.
You are always breaking stuff. Yes, we can. Genevieve says they can.
All right. Well, that's good. That's all that. That's that's the most important thing.
Yeah, now I'm gone.
Yeah, I know.
The background. Okay.
Put you back in there.
Okay.
You're just choppy.
Okay. Now I'm back.
Okay.
Okay, are we ready?
Give us your question.
Okay, I'm going to give... Well, I wasn't ready to go... Jeez. Okay. Moss, 6510 Models, hi Moss, actually says, can we have a Zoom meeting with all the Patreons and members? Would love a hangout with quality YouTubers.
So this is definitely something I'm interested in setting up. If you guys want to become a Patreon of my channel, there is a link in the description to go ahead and sign up to become a Patreon. It costs a couple of bucks a month and it really helps support the channel. And I'm thinking once I get to 25 Patreons, I'm gonna set up a monthly call so we can just get together and my Patreons can actually ask questions about anything, my past, live streaming, or even YouTube growth questions. I've been doing this for a long time, so I could certainly give you some perspective on the different aspects of pretty much growing YouTube channels and all that sort of stuff. I have multiple, so I have a lot of insight. I would definitely love to help people, and I would love to get enough Patreons in the system so that I could have a call and have it lively and have a lot of fun with it. So absolutely, Moss, I would love to do that. I would love to do that. Let's go here and see if the Monica cam has fixed itself. There you go, honey.
Better?
No.
No. Okay. Something always goes wrong on a live stream.
Always.
Always.
Which one is that?
Uh-oh. He's leaving his post.
Alright, let's see if we can't get it to work. They can still hear you, Pumpkin, so
Oh.
you can
I can keep
be
talking.
jolly.
Okay. Be jolly.
Yeah.
Like ho 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 jolly?
Hey, however jolly you want to be. I don't even know if they can actually hear me because...
Let's see. Cheesy webcam. We can hear you, so go ahead.
Alright, there we go.
And Tech Examine says it's not a good live stream if everything works.
No, it isn't. It's no fun. You're good to go now.
Good to go. Okay, Zippy Entertainment has another question saying, what video editing program do you recommend to use?
Alright. So I use Premiere Pro. I use it because I'm familiar with it. It's what I started using when I started editing. When I started YouTube, I didn't know anything about anything. So I just read what most people were using and I started using Premiere. If I were starting today, I can almost guarantee you I'd probably be using DaVinci Resolve. The reason why is because it's free and it's very, very, very comprehensive, and more people are switching to DaVinci Resolve all the time. I actually have a friend who does a channel that is just all about DaVinci Resolve. Not all about. I have a friend who does a lot of really fantastic tutorials on DaVinci Resolve. So if you're looking to start creating your own recorded content, it's free It's pretty easy to use, and it's getting to be more and more popular. Michael T. Panetta can, Mr. Tech Examine can go ahead and put a link in here to Jay Littman's channel. He's an awesome YouTuber. He's a lot of fun. He's a good friend. But more importantly, he's an excellent filmmaker, and he does really good tutorials on DaVinci Resolve. And if you're just starting out, that's what I'd probably recommend you use, because, like I said, for most of the major features that a new person is going to use, it's free. And if you decide to purchase it, it's a one-time purchase, whereas Adobe features like what I use, it's a monthly fee. So there's that. I just use it because I'm stubborn, I'm old, and I know how it works. So there you go. There you go. Let's see what I want to say hello to Genevieve. By the way, Pauline Newman, the YouTube angel, is in the house. Tech Examine's in the house. There's Tech Examine right there too. Now, the channels that are listed over here, these guys are all, you know, people that I work with or talk to, or you know, things like that. I've looked at all their channels. I've interacted with each of these people individually. They all have fantastic channels. They're all different niches and different types of channels. So if you have an inkling to check out what any one of them does, there are links in the description down below. Check it out. See if the content interests you. The perfect example is Moss. Moss is he does videos on building model airplanes and that sort of stuff. Actually, not just model airplanes, any sort of scale modeling. It's a really fantastic channel. I mean, it's as soon as he gets a video that hits the mainstream, I'm not going to be surprised at all, because the content is really mature quality content. He just hasn't exactly found his stride yet. Whoop. He hasn't exactly found his stride yet, but he will soon enough, I have no doubt. And when he does, he's going to take off. If you're interested in building scale models and that sort of stuff, I highly recommend it. Let's go to the Monica cam and see if it's still working. There we go.
Okay, another question from Aaron Abernathy. He says, how many elements in your overlay are live, and how much is pre-edited video?
How many elements? Okay. All right. So, what was our questioner's name? Aaron. Thank you for the question, by the way, Aaron. Helder Martins. Hello, hello. If I miss saying hi to you in the chat, I am so sorry. It is a thing I love to do, but I get caught up in the questions. So as far as which of the elements in my overlay are live, all of the motion elements that you see, those are all pre-recorded videos. So the whole entire layout is pre-recorded, and even the videos over here, those are pre-recorded in the layout. And then the text elements and things like that, I added pre-recorded in the layout. I wanted everything in the layout that I could possibly get. So then we have stuff down here like last subscriber, top donation, and last donation. Those are all widgets. So they'll change if there's a donation or a subscriber or something like that. The text chat is all widget. The donation goal thing is a widget, and of course the jar thingy here is a widget, and the count up here is a widget. So those are all widgets. Those are all separate from the overlay. Those are things that I added on later. And I have a couple of videos if you're interested in knowing how to create, one, an overlay, or two, use custom widgets. Let me know. If you're interested, I can drop a link in the chat so that you can find one of those videos that can help you on either one of those things. Or you can just go into my playlists, and I have a playlist for live streaming and OBS, and the videos are all in there. For every tutorial pretty much that I've ever done on live streaming is in there. There's also a playlist on tools that has a whole bunch of different information on different tools that you can use for live streaming and that sort of stuff. And my chair's squeaky. So there's that. Let's see what Monica says about questions.
About questions. There is another question from Aaron. I think it was relating to what you were speaking about. He says, what machine are you streaming from? Can you give us an idea of specs?
Sure. Okay. So if you're interested in putting together streaming PCs, I actually did a video on this. I released it on Friday. It's for the ultimate game live streaming PC. It can stream. It's a beast, and it's $1,800. So if you haven't seen the video, I highly recommend that you check it out. This PC that I'm using here to do this live stream is a touch older. This uses probably an Intel Core, an Intel i8. I'm not sure. It might be an i9, but it's only a 6-core CPU. It has 32 gigs of RAM. It has multiple hard drives. There's like 6 or 8 hard drives in this machine, and it has a NVIDIA. It's a NVIDIA GTX 970. So I have the 970. The card that I installed on the machine that I did the video for this week was a 2070. You could almost say that his build, the one that I did, is very similar to my machine, just heavily updated. And my machine does have a water cooler, whereas his doesn't. But there you go. That's the equipment that I had. The only thing I don't know the specifics on is which exact CPU I have in here, but I do know it's a 6-core. I think it's somewhere around 3.5 gigahertz per core. So there you go. If you're interested in having me build you a PC, or if you want to consult with me to talk about what your needs are and what sort of equipment you want to put in a PC, you are welcome to go to my website, michaelfirejr.com, and scroll to the bottom. There's a fill out sheet where you can just fill it out and say work with me, and we'll get together and I'll help you figure out what you need. And if you don't have the skills to build it, I can do that for you too. So there you go. Let's go ahead and see what Monica might have to say today. Here we go.
Next question is from Gemma's Journey Grace. Hi, Gemma. She says, which application would you recommend for making a new intro?
Hi, Gemma. I don't know who this Gemma person is that Monica was talking about, but the Gemma that I know. So what sort of intro are we talking about? Are we talking about just kind of graphical stuff going on the screen? Or are we talking about meshing together videos? Because you can use any editing program to mesh together a bunch of different videos to make a quick intro. I would definitely take a look at other channels in your niche, see what their intros look like. Intros are kind of they're not in style right now. A lot of people take the Bon Jovi approach, and it's kind of like, don't bore us, get to the chorus. Jump right in and get to the video as fast as you possibly can. My intro is like 3 seconds long, and that's probably a good idea to use something as short as possible. In which case, I just use like a text overlay that I animated in After Effects. So it's kind of up to what you want to do with your overlay. But a good rule of thumb is, if you're just looking for animations and text animations, graphical animations, something like After Effects is what I would use. If you're just looking for, a mishmash of videos with possibly a little bit of text over top, something like Premiere should work just fine. Or DaVinci Resolve or something like that. All right, let's see what Monica has to say. We love you, Gemma, by the way. If you don't know, this is Gemma right here. Gemma's autistic, and her channel is all about trying to help people understand what it's like to live as an autistic person. I think her content's fantastic. She kind of puts it all out there, and that's hard to do. It's really hard to do. I have a lot of respect for anyone who's able to do that. I think you can learn a lot about what it's like to live as an autistic person from Gemma, and if you're interested in knowing more about it, needless to say, the link is in the description. Let's see. Here we go.
More questions.
Sparkly.
Ooh. More questions. One from Astro Parsh. He says, how can I fix the delay between video and audio from NDI Skype sources with my guests during my stream? Thanks for all your help.
Right. Let's go back to my main. All right, I'm going to show you how to fix delay in audio. I suck at doing this. I just want to let you know, but it can be done. It's not impossible. Let's open up. We're going to launch it anyways. It's going to complain to me, but there we go. We have it launched. So in order, you have to put an audio source in here, which audio input capture. I don't know. It doesn't really matter which audio input we capture. So let's capture that one, because I don't think I'm actually using that. But there you go. You can hear it's probably, we're not going to be able to hear that on the stream anyways, because it's probably, yeah. So you would load a camera thing in here by going into NDI source, and it would show up as an NDI source right here, and it would have audio right here. So if there's two ways that you can fix this problem. You can right click here and go to filters, and then you can add, and this might be a little different, you can add it's not going to let me do it because it's not a video source. Well, if it was a video, all right, let's add a video source. Let's add a video source just because, and it doesn't matter. This is probably going to mess up my camera again, but we're going to do it anyways. So this has audio and video, so I'm just going to remove this. Now your NDI source is going to show up just like this. So this would basically be NDI instead of video capture. But you could go into here, you can go into filters, and you can go to audio video filters, and you can let's see, video right here, video delay. You can add a video delay to it, and you go in here and you can adjust the amount of time that your video is delayed until it lines up with the voice. Or the other way that you can do it is you can go into video capture device right here in the audio settings. You can click this and go to properties. No, not that. You can click this and you can go to advanced audio properties, and you can adjust your sync offset right here by adjusting how many milliseconds before or after the video it is, plus or minus. And once you do that, you can sync up your audio. It is a little bit of a pain in the butt, especially if you have to do it while you're physically on stream. So it's kind of something you want to try to do before you go live. But that's how you're going to sync your audio if you end up with somebody who has audio that's out of sync. So hopefully that was helpful. Let me remove this before I go over and visit with Monica, so that we hopefully it doesn't mess up her camera. We'll see. At least I know how to fix that now. Let's go to you. Back to the Monica.
Fix it, guys. We're just gonna wait and see. Better?
Hold on.
Hold on.
All right, we're back.
Okay, we ready?
Yeah, we're ready.
Next question. Okay, next question is from Helder Martins, and he says, "What's your opinion about Lightstream?"
Helder Martins, thank you so much for the question. I'm not sure what Lightstream is. Someone want to enlighten me, because I don't have a specific opinion. I only I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. I haven't actually used it. Holy mackerel, we have 33 people watching. Awesome. Astro Parchi? Yeah, maybe. Either way, hello. Frail Gaming, hello. I'm just going to scroll up and say hi to some folks, if that's okay with you. Johnny Bean, hello. And Cosmo Investor, hello. So if you guys are new, you haven't been on a live stream before, if you want me to answer a question about YouTube growth or live streaming, you just at Tech Examined. He takes those questions and feeds them to my amazingly beautiful and awesome sandwich maker, Monica, who will then we're going to go to right now, and she's going to feed me another question like she feeds me sandwiches, but different. This one is feeding questions. Now my chat's locked. Here we go. It can never go right when you're live streaming. Just keep that in mind.
Okay, I'm ready.
We're at the giant vagina again. I didn't mean you, I meant the building.
Yeah, thanks. Okay, another question from Zippy Entertainment. He writes, I'm Santa Claus and I would like to do a live stream with the children. Santa reads to the kids, but I would like to pre-record to use over and over. Any recommendations?
Okay, what was that?
What are you doing over there?
I don't know.
If you don't want me to read, just say, okay, don't read until I'm done reading the chat.
Yeah, I'm a moron.
Okay, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Paying attention? Over here, over here.
Yeah.
Okay. He says, I'm Santa Claus and I would like to do a live stream with the children.
Wait a second. Who?
Zippy Entertainment.
Okay. All right.
You ready?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Zippy Entertainment says, I'm Santa Claus and would like to do a live stream with the children. Santa reads to the kids, but I like to pre-record to use over and over again. Any recommendations?
First of all, Zippy, I love Santa. And the fact that you're Santa Claus, I never thought I'd get a chance to meet Santa. I'm super excited. Man, I'm tongue-tied. I'm just mystified. Okay, so I'm assuming that you do a lot of live streaming and that sort of stuff, Zippy. If you wanted to record yourself as Santa reading, since you are Santa, if you wanted to record yourself reading these chapters, what you could easily do, and let's flip over to the tutorial cam. Go ahead and set your stuff up in here with your camera and your make sure I stay on the nice list. No joke, Zippy, no joke. I try really hard. Add your camera in here, add your audio in here, and instead of streaming, just go to start recording. And you can physically record videos right from here. Now there is some caveats to that. You're gonna notice this is a little unusual. So I have my output set up for streaming. You can see I stream at 5,500 kilobytes per second, and this is what I use in the NVIC encoder. Excuse me. For recording, we go a totally different route, okay? You're gonna use a variable bit rate. You're gonna record at like 3,500 to 4,000 kilobits per second, max quality. The reason why is theoretically, this does not tax your machine anywhere near as much. You're gonna get exceptional quality video. You can go up here and you can change the, where is it? Right now I have it set to MP4s, but you can change what you want your format to be saved at and things like that. And you can record all of your video content right here in OBS as if it was a regular video. And the coolest thing is you can add an overlay down there that says Santa Claus, and you can add an overlay down there at different parts of the video that tell you what book you're reading. You could even theoretically add a scrolling overlay in post that, you know, puts the words on the screen and stuff like that. That would be really cool. Or you can add cutscenes in there while you're reading. You could just turn on different pictures that would go up over the screen that would show different pictures of illustrations from the book or something like that. But you can easily do all of that pre-recorded right here in OBS if that's what you wanted to do. OBS is a lot more than just a cool live streaming application. There's so much more you can do with it. Let's go to Monica and see if she has any questions. By the way, Zippy, personally, I would love to come visit you, but I'm not a fan of the cold. So here we go.
Okay, are we ready? We are back. Now you're gonna listen. You ready to listen? You're gonna pay attention. Okay, let's hope he is. Let's hope he is paying attention. Okay, this is from Frail Gaming. Frail Gaming says, what would be a good free editing software that is good running on old Windows devices? I have used DaVinci in the past, and the rendering always failed. I have also attempted Caden Live. It has bad view rendering.
Huh. Wow. I don't know. I got to be honest with you. This one has me kind of stumped. I use a Mac for my editing. I don't use a PC. I've never really used my PC for any kind of editing. I do know that DaVinci seems to require you to have a pretty solid machine to do the editing. To be honest with you, I know some people who do editing on their phone, and maybe that's a possible option for you if you're really struggling to edit on your PC. The only other flip side to that is the possibility of doing a little bit of a PC upgrade or an update. You can get possibly something that should be able to at least be functional for relatively cheap. Because honestly, once we get out of DaVinci Resolve, the Adobe suite that I use, Premiere Pro, or the one that Michael T. Panetti uses, which is Final Cut Pro. Once we get away from those three, I'm not really familiar with any other editing software. So I wish I could help you more, but unfortunately that's where I'm at. Disney Family 515, hello. And by the way, we are such huge Disney fans. I want to go so bad, but I do not want to walk around in 90-degree weather with 100% humidity in a freaking mask. So we'll have to wait until they say we don't have to anymore. Here comes the beautiful Monica.
Next question is from Charles Razzle, or Charles Rizal. I apologize for butchering the name. He says, I'm getting dropped frames and jerky motion with an OBS live stream to Facebook Live, even though speed test says I'm getting 11 megabytes per second upload speeds. What could be causing this?
So the first question I have for you is, are we talking about a Mac or are we talking about a Windows PC? What was the user's name? Charles. Are we using a Mac or are we using a Windows PC? I'm going to break it down for you really simple. We're going to go over to our tutorial screen. You can see that I have this up on screen right here. This right here is the stats window. And you want to try to check this out next time you live stream. When you're live streaming, you're physically going to have information down here at the bottom where it says live, and then it'll have a little green dot and it'll give you your kilobits per second that you're uploading at. And if that green dot stays green, then it's not the speed of your internet connection. If you go up here to average time to render a frame, frames missed due to rendering lag, skipped frames due to encoding lag. If you see that is skipping frames, which is usually what's going to cause choppiness on your stream, that means your PC is not encoding whatever you're trying to do fast enough. And the way to fix that problem is usually to make sure that all of the stuff you're inputting into your scene is the native scene resolution and it's not being resized in any way. That can cut down on that. I spent a year or so live streaming on a really old Mac, and I had to do all kinds of tricks to get it to give me a quality stream. So I'm kind of the king of understanding how to do tricks to make something work. The biggest one is when you go into your settings, you have your output settings, or not your output, your video settings right here. If your base canvas is 1920 by 1080, your overlay should be 1920 by 1080. Your camera should be 1920 by 1080. Everything that you could possibly do should be 1920 by 1080, and then your output scaled resolution should be exactly the same. You don't want to have an overlay that's 720 being upscaled to 1920 by 1080 and then have a video camera that's being rescaled. If your machine can't handle it, it can't handle it. But the way that you could tell whether it's your machine or your upload speed is if you're dropping a lot of frames down here while you're live streaming, it says drop frame, drop frame, drop frame. If you're dropping a lot of frames there, that's your connection. If you're dropping a lot of frames up here, that's your computer. So hopefully that answers your question. Let's see what beautiful Monica has to say.
Next question is from Aaron Abernathy. He says, is having multiple NDI sources into OBS very demanding? I was thinking of trying to set up a 6-person chat using Skype and NDI inputs, but I'm worried it will melt my iMac.
I would always be worried about melting the iMac. But to be honest with you, NDI sources are the same as any other thing. So if I wanted to stream using Zoom or Skype or whatever, as long as my machine could handle running those applications at the same time, it should theoretically be able to take that and encode it. Now, once you actually click the live button, and it has to re-encode all of that stuff on the screen, that's where Mac really struggles. And so I can't promise you that, but theoretically, if you can run multiple NDI sources on your machine without too many hiccups, you might be able to do it. It's gonna sound like a jet plane taking off, though, more than likely. Well, no, you said it's not a laptop, so you might not have too much problems. You know, the only way to know is to set up like a private live stream and just try it out, see what happens. But I don't know. You might be better off setting, because if you're using multiple NDI sources, anything that's not Skype and it's NDI is going to have to be on your physical network. So there's that as well. Like I can't get NDI HX input from anything that's not physically on my network. So that's something else to keep in mind. I hope I answered your question, and I did see that Charles said that he's using a PC. So Charles, personally, I think that there's probably hope, at least for the PC, that there isn't generally for a Mac user. You might just be able to replace your video card if you have a PCIe slot with a newer NVIDIA card, and NVIDIA has a coprocessor on all of its new cards, and that coprocessor, all it does is encode video for live streaming. That's all it does. So it does all these awesome 3D things, and that's on a totally separate part. And then when it comes to video encoding, it encodes it all on a separate chip. So if you go in here, you can see right here, and a lot of people don't think it's like the best encoder on the planet, but this one right here, this NVIC encoder, that is directly on my CPU. That's directly on my video card. So my CPU never touches it. That's why you see my CPU usage here is 0.59. You know, it's almost nothing. The PC usage for the actual stream that I'm running right now is 4.4. So all of the encoding for all the different things that I'm doing, and the widgets and the screen switching and all that stuff, is using no CPU at all. It's all being offloaded onto one of these little chips. And if your machine does a lot of the things you want it to do, but it's having difficulty encoding, maybe just upgrading to a newer NVIDIA chip a newer NVIDIA card might solve your problem. And all right, so these cards are not cheap, but you can go out there and do a search for the NVIC encoder chipset and find out which is the cheapest card you can get with that encoder on it, and just buy that card. As long as you're not going to be playing games on the machine, it doesn't matter. You don't care how good the video card is. You just want that encoder. You just want that encoder, and you can probably get one for $150 if you really search, and maybe get a recertified one. So there you go. There's that. Let's hit up Monica and see what she's up to.
Okay. Next question is from Johnny Bean. He says, what smartphone is best for live streaming? I would use the Streamlabs mobile app. Heard that text-to-speech won't work with an iPhone.
Let's see. Well, I don't know what you would be using text-to-speech for during a live stream, but I used my iPhone 11 to live stream for about a year. I did a live stream. It was called The Best Hour of My Day. It was every day at 10 a.m. and I live streamed from waterfalls and mountaintops and hiking trails and rest stops in on the road and all kinds of crazy locations with my iPhone. I had unlimited data. I did not use Streamlabs. And now this was about a year or so back. I did start to try to use Streamlabs near the end of the time that I was using my phone to do my live streams, but I didn't find it to work very well. I used the YouTube app. The YouTube app worked perfectly. Needless to say, it's kind of a bummer that the YouTube app does not support adding widgets and things like that to it. But if you're just going to live stream and communicate with an audience and have some fun, it worked really well. Streamlabs does work, but you need to have a pretty solid connection to do it. I found the only time that I really got Streamlabs to work particularly well on my phone was when I was physically on a Wi-Fi network, and that was almost never, because like I said, I was doing these from the tops of waterfalls. I was having fun with it. So that's something to think about. That's something to think about with it's something to think about with your live streams, is that you want to make sure, like I could go live and have a quality live stream with 2 bars of LTE from anywhere through the iPhone app, but you better have a pretty doggone solid connection if you're going to do it through the Streamlabs app, because it just requires you to. So keep that in mind. He doesn't even know now the phone he's using. It's an iPhone 11. Wait, no, it's an iPhone 10. Sorry. iPhone 10. It's not an 11. It's an iPhone 10. Yeah, I'm a dumbass. There you go. They called me out. Look at that, a year ago with the iPhone 11. No, I don't have that. It was the iPhone 10. I've been using it for a couple of years now. You know why I don't live stream with it anymore? Because I beat this phone up so badly that the microphones sound all garbly. So I can't really use it for recording anymore. Darn it. Let's see what Monica has to say.
Next question comes from DJ Yo-Yo Energy. I'm not really sure, so I'm just going to say DJ Yo-Yo. Hi, he says, hi, I'm a DJ. Have a question. Let's say I'm doing a live stream, but would like to add a guest DJ to my live stream. How can that be accomplished?
By the way, honey, watch out for those tigers and lions and stuff. All right, so if you were going to live stream with a DJ, what I would recommend using is something like Skype with NDI. The problem is latency. If you're just doing an interview, that's one thing. If you're going to add a DJ who's going to play music, as long as you guys aren't trying to coordinate something specifically. Hey, Mark. I'll get to your question, I promise you, brother. I really will get to your question.
Tell him it's up next.
Your question is up next, Mark. Hang in there, brother. I don't do this specifically so you're forced to stay on the live stream, okay? You could come back and watch it later if you want, but I still answer every question. So be patient, because you want me to answer your question in as much detail as I possibly can. And if you're trying to hurry me through other questions, well, that's not really fair to those people. So anyway, what was the question that I'm on now is, all right, so if you're going to bring another DJ on to interview him or something like that, I highly recommend using Skype. Let me get you a link to a video that is going to give you the information that you need to add a guest to your Skype. Now I'm being laughed at. People are laughing at. I'm used to being laughed at. Yeah, if only I wasn't so not funny. It's always laughing at me. It's never laughing with me. Oh boy. So, but I'll give you my recommended method of adding a guest, and you're gonna have to see if you can make it work. I can tell you right now that adding guests on a live stream for the purposes of creating music or something like that, and I feel your pain. The audio quality is never great, and there's all kinds of latency and everything else, so I definitely feel your pain on that, but right now there's just not a really good way. Here is the video. I just dropped the link in the chat to the method that I would recommend for live streaming with a guest. I hope that'll work for you, but just know that if you're trying to do something where you're coordinating musically, it's going to be super, super difficult. Super, super difficult to do. And I don't know why that's still going. All right, so let's go back here. Oh, is everybody good? I see the chat scrolling. Can I add another question to my list of questions? Oh, see, Mark, you just gotta hang out a little longer. You're gonna think of other questions. So just hang out. Just hang out, brother. Add 2 thumbs up. All right, let's go to Monica, because I think your question's next. Hold on.
Next. We ready? Ready? This question comes from Mark Santos. He actually has 3 questions in a row. We'll take one at a time. First one says, how do you add all this stuff to your screen, like top donation and stuff?
Well, Mark, that is a very good question. So let's go over to my tutorial thing and I'll show you. All right. So I use something called Streamlabs. It's a download that you get right here. And what this does is it gives me all the latest information on actions that have taken place on my channel, and it saves it to a text file. So once it saves that to a text file, all I have to do is go into my sources here, and I can create a little text source if I could get my mouse to work properly, because of course the PC is over here and my mouse is over here and it's too far away, so now I have to go lefty. Let's see, top donation. Wow, that's spelled horribly wrong, but you can select your font and do all that stuff. We're not going to do that. And why didn't that show up? Where is it? Oh, you know why it didn't show up? Because I didn't actually add any text. See, kids? Top donation. I don't really need to enter that. All right, there we go. So we have your top donation. Now we want to add the browser source. So I'm going to go, actually, we don't want to add a browser source for this. We just want to add another text, and this is going to be the actual donation person. And we're going to add that, and we're going to go in here, and instead of going and typing the text in, we're going to read it from a file, and all we have to do is go ahead and find the file. So let's see, I don't know why I have to do this with my wrong hand. This is really frustrating. I'm a lefty and I can't do it. Isn't that funny? So let's see, I believe I just have to go to where Streamlabs saves those text files right here, Streamlabs, and any of these I can do. So donation goal, donation clock, donation counter. Let's see, we want our top YouTube let's do sessions top donators right here. Is there actually anything in there? I don't know. I don't think anyone's donated. So there's nothing in there. So that's why it's blank. Let's see. Let's find one that has some information in it. So let's go to monthly top donators. Let's do the monthly top donator. There we go. There he is. It's Michael T. Panetta. Mr. Tech Examine. Thank you, Michael T. We're going to resize that. We're going to put it right there. And there you go. That's exactly how I created it on my main overlay. The only difference is I made it pretty. See, it's all pretty down there, but the process is exactly the same. So we have another question. Hold on. Let's go to question number deuce.
Question number deuce. You ready?
There you go, Mark. Question 1 out of the way.
Question 2 is from Mark Santos. Is there a way to automatically change scenes based on audio levels?
All All right, Mark. So as far as I know, there is not a way to automatically change scenes based on audio levels. But I'll bet you there's a way to do it if you got creative to figure it out. But I don't know of any specific way that's already built in to do it, unfortunately. So there we go.
Oh, are we back? That was quick. That was quick. Okay, next question is also from Mark. What do you use to live stream?
Oops, look at that. Wow. Wow, I'm all for-hoodled there. What do I use to live stream? I use OBS to live stream, and I live stream with a PC. And that's why I know a lot about OBS. That's why I can show you all the different things. If I'm going to add a guest, which I'm going to do in the future, I use a program like Streamyard to add guests, but I will actually add those guests in OBS through Streamyard because I like to have the power to, you know, set up my scenes the way I want, set up my screens the way I want, set up my audio the way I want. But there are all kinds of different ways to set that stuff up, but I use OBS as my main streaming tool. And let's see what Monica has to say.
Okay. Next question is from Disney Family 515. They say, hello, StreamYard, screen sharing. When I do that, the audio is awful while streaming on Facebook. Any hacks?
Okay, so is the audio, by audio is horrible, do you mean your personal audio or the audio that's coming from the website or whatever it is that you're trying to stream? Wow, this is through StreamYard, huh? That's interesting.
Yes. Screen sharing through StreamYard.
Screen sharing through StreamYard. Are you, I guess it depends what your audio source is. But I can tell you something right now. If you're struggling with this and you're having poor audio, I would go to StreamYard directly. It's a paid program. So if you're having an issue specifically with something not functioning the way that it should function or giving you poor audio, they should do something about it because they are actually paying. You're actually paying for it. The audio that's being streamed through Facebook Live. So basically everything, your voice and the screen share. That's interesting. Huh. I would actually open up a ticket with StreamYard and ask them why it's happening. Because it sounds like once you add your screen sharing software, it's cutting your audio bit rate in order to deal with that. That's not cool. Audio source is YouTube and or a video I have stored on Google Drive. Okay. Yeah, but it only does it so you're not talking over it, you're just using. Man. Yeah, see, this is a flaw with StreamYard. This is definitely a flaw with StreamYard. I'm assuming you're using Google Chrome. If you are not using Google Chrome, they do not support the audio in the same way. So make sure that the web browser that you are using to share your audio is Google Chrome. And if it is, then I would definitely message them and say, hey dudes, I'm paying for this crap, and here's a sample of the audio that I'm getting when I share a screen. How do we fix this? And see what they can tell you. Because unfortunately, it sounds like if it's only happening during the screen share portion, it sounds like it's something that's on their end. I'm thinking. But that's my guess. Yep, so Disney Family, message them directly and say, why is this happening? And see what they can tell you. Because they should fix it. They should fix the problem. Otherwise, it's unusable. If this is part of what you're going to do is your live stream and you can't get quality audio, then why are you paying them to stream? So check with StreamYard. it's a paid product, so they should support it, and they should be able to tell you, okay, it's happening because of this reason, and then you should be able to, I mean, because theoretically it could be a problem with your network connection. Maybe it's not able to encode the audio fast enough to send it up there, but they're going to have to tell you that. It shouldn't just magically go bad because you're doing video or something like that. I wish I could have a better answer for you, because it sucks to have to go directly to the company, but when you're paying for the software, you may as well be satisfied with the product that you're getting and let them know that they need to fix it. So that's my personal take on that. Let's see what Monica has to say.
Next question is from Prey Mantis. He says, it seems as if a Windows box running on a quad-core 3.0 gigahertz, 8 gigabytes RAM with ample transfer rates and a high-end graphics card doesn't have enough combined HP to stream.
Quad-core.
It's a quad-core 3.0 gigahertz, 8 gigabytes of RAM. Ample transfer rates and a high-end graphics card.
Wow. Okay. All right. So I know when we're talking about a high-end graphics card, we're talking about a high-end graphics card for a 4-core processor. We're probably talking about a machine that's 2013, 2012, somewhere in there. That's not a new machine. But the bottleneck on the machine could very well be the RAM. So maybe the 8 gig, you bump it up to 32. It also could be that your video card, while it is a high-end video card, does not have the encoder chip on it. And a 4-core processor, even at 3 gigahertz, may not be fast enough to do the encoding on its own, plus whatever it is you're trying to do, whether it's play games or run this like this. If my CPU had to encode this even with 6 cores and I think it's a 3.6 gigahertz, if it had to encode this, it couldn't do it. The only reason why it's able to do it is because it's being encoded on the graphics card. So while a 4-core machine is sufficient, if your graphics card is not running like the NVIC chip or something like that, you're still going to struggle. You're still going to struggle, unfortunately, because CPU encoding really is only workable when you start to get up into 6 and 8 and 10 core CPUs and things like that. So that could be what you're running into. And I love that name too, Prey Mantis. That's absolutely fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. I hope that answers your question. Definitely go and stream, and here's what you check. If you are getting a 100% green thumb down here in the bottom right, it says no dropped frames, and you are getting frames missed due to render lag and skipped frames due to encoding lag, that means that your machine is not fast enough to do what you're trying to do. So render lag and encoding lag is your computer. Dropped frames down in the bottom right is your internet connection. Every time. Let's see what Monica's got going on.
Okay, our last question in the queue right now is from Dolphin55 saying, what's the best way to grab a Twitch stream and convert it to an audio version to upload as a podcast?
Okay. All right, so you can download your Twitch videos. I know this because the video that I did, one of the videos that I did this week on my one of the videos that I did this week, my client sent me his test video directly from Twitch so that we could see exactly what it was. Now, I didn't actually use that video in my video, but he sent me the video nonetheless. So I know that there is a way that Twitch will save your video so that you can download it. I do understand also that from what I hear, it takes a little bit of time. So my guess is maybe you have to be a partner to use this feature, but if you want to and you have a sufficiently powerful computer and you don't want to wait for them to let you download it, you can just go down here and record your stream while you're streaming, and then you'll have a copy of it saved to your hard drive and a copy of it saved to and of course the Twitch stream will go out. You'll have a copy on your hard drive and you'll have them both, so you can record at the same time. I just will say this, it can get hairy. It can get hairy because when you start recording on your machine at the same time as you're streaming, you're essentially asking it to encode 2 times. And if your NVIC encoder chip only has 1 thread of encoding, that means that it's going to do the second thread on your CPU, and it could cause problems. So test it. Test it before you try it. Otherwise, Twitch does have a feature that allows you to download previous broadcasts, assuming that they are your own broadcasts. So just do a search on Twitch for recorded broadcast or download broadcast, and you can easily repurpose that into a podcast just by putting it in Handbrake or something like that and just removing the video so that you have only audio. And you can reorganize it in any way you see fit in a program like Premiere or DaVinci or something like that. So hopefully that answers your question. Let's see if we have any others.
At this time, there are no other questions.
Ooh, no other
questions.
Well, that's awesome. Oh man, this has been a whole heck of a lot of fun tonight. I hope I managed to answer every single one of your questions. Let me run through. I want to say hi to Johnny Bean. If I didn't say hi to you, Disney Fam 512. Hello, hello. Thank you for stopping by. Mark Santos, thank you for being an active participant and asking so many questions. I love it, man. I really enjoy it. Moss, thank you for coming by. Michael T. Panetta, I really want to thank you for regulating, moderating, and sending those questions so that Monica can read them off. Zippy Entertainment, thank you for coming and participating. You guys are awesome. Ellie Desheny, man, I suck. Ellie Desheny, it is awesome to get a chance to meet you. I hope you are enjoying the stream. Thank you for stopping by. Gamma, we love you. Oh man. Giorgio, hello. I think I got to most of the folks that said hi in the last half hour or so. Dolphin 55, hello. So there we go. If I miss saying hi to you, we love you guys. Joe Maher, hello. Thank you. WEVM Productions. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Thank you for coming by. Do we have any other questions, or are we good?
There are no other questions.
There are no other questions. Well, that's awesome. I will be here back again next Saturday night at 8 p.m. Thank you so much, Michael T. Panetta, for like I said, regulating and asking and passing the questions on. You're awesome. Let's go to Monica Cam one more time so she can say goodbye too.
Yes. Bye, everybody. Have a nice day, evening, whatever it is. I appreciate seeing you, some regulars over again. That's really nice to see everyone. We'll be here next week. See you then.
Awesome. And to all the amazing fathers out there, we love you guys. Happy Father's Day. Have an awesome Father's Day. Have a great day. And you know what? Treat yourself. And treat your neighbors and treat your friends and treat your family. Be good to everyone that you see. The world needs more good people, and you can be the person that starts the change. Why not? Genevieve, by the way, hello. Jim Morales, thank you for coming by. We will see you next Saturday night at 8 o'clock. Thank you guys. I really appreciate it. Love you, and take care.